Hi, my name is Mark, and welcome to Mindful Me. Today, we're going to be talking about you on paper. As Reid says, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. And a plan backed by actions, well, that makes your dream come true. This is where a pen and a paper and self reflection is going to come in handy. So if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper, best you grab one now. I want you to write down a few things that make you happy. What causes you to enjoy life? What drives you to make the decisions that you make? What are your values, your beliefs, and your goals? Write all these things down and take a few minutes to reflect on them. Then, unfortunately, we're going to have to identify some negative things in your life. These things are things that you do not enjoy, something that drains you, that causes you chaos and dissatisfaction. Are you doing those things now in your life? And if so, what is the reason? Is there things that you're not doing that you should be doing? These are all questions you're going to have to ask yourself and reflect on. Only you can make this list, and only you know these reasons. No one can do it for you. Look deep within yourself for the answers. And at the end of this segment, you'll find that you have completed a self-assessment. But you can't stop there. After you're done with that list, you have to strongly consider the things that make you enjoy living your life. Ask yourself, do you want to have more time in order to do these things? And if you do, how can you go about doing that? What steps do you need to take in order to create a new life that would be better and more supportive of your happiness? Sometimes we just need to see what we need to do so we can do it. And that's why we're taking the time to write it down on paper. Knowing is half the battle. Right now in this audio, we're looking at what we need to do, then finding out how we need to go about it. Writing these things down with a process gives you the steps that you need to take in order to achieve your plan, to keep you on track to living a better life. Doing a self-assessment is the best thing someone can do for themselves. It helps them with self-worth and self-identity. It allows them to see themselves on paper, virtually. Our mind is often convoluted, overstimulated, and gets redirected. By opting into this exercise, you'll be surprised at some of the things that you write down, or maybe you won't. Either way, you'll have a solid idea of what makes you, well, you, and what makes you happy. Now, some of the things you wrote down that allow you to enjoy your life, you may not have. An example of that may be that you enjoy racing, but you don't have a race car to go racing. And a race car is something you need in order to enjoy that activity. Or say you like taking pictures, but you don't have a camera to take the pictures. Well, then how can you do something in your life worth living if you don't have the actual tools to do it? And the short answer to that is you can't. So we must figure out something that we have to do in order to obtain the things that give us purpose. For the things that we don't have yet, we need to get. So, it's time to sit down again and let's start brainstorming. Write out a statement followed by a question. An example of that is, I'd like to take pictures, but I don't have a camera. What are some things that I could do to obtain a camera? What kind of camera do I want? How much does that cost? Answer all these questions so you have a clear understanding of the path that you need to take in order to obtain these things. You only want to work towards things that bring you happiness. You never want to work towards things or anything in your life that will make you unhappy. That sounds like a common sense statement, but it would surprise a lot of people when I say that there are people who are consistently working towards something in their life that does not make them happy. They either don't know themselves well enough or they're living their life for somebody else. Now, it's unfortunate when this happens, but this is an all too common problem in our society. People become lost within themselves or within others. So I suggest, like earlier in the segment, that never really seek external validation from others, only seek validation from yourself. And you do that by knowing yourself. Always consult your inner self before taking any action. We now need to focus on another list. And this is something that is not too enjoyable, but it's something we need to know. There are things in our life that we're doing that are causing us grief, pain, hardships, depression, and anxiety. Now, only you will know what these things are. You have to write them down to see what they are. Physically, put a pen to the page and look at them. These things are different for everyone. You are the only one who knows these things. So, like I said before, you have to write them down. Now, I'm going to say something to you that is easy for me to say, but extremely hard for people to do. All of the things that take away from your quality of life, get your scissors out, because it's time to cut those things out of your life. Time to do some surgery, grab the scalpel. Some of these things you have very strong attachments to. These things could be your job, your family, it could be your whole life. Up to this point, you haven't really known the impact that it has been having on you. But now that you know that it's negative and it's causing you hardships, it's time to cut these things out of your life. While some of you knew all along, you knew that it hurt you, but you knew that you were comfortable with it. It's something that caused you to feel a fulfillment in some negative way. Now, once you've made this decision to cut these ties, there are going to be people, places, and things that are going to come up against you. These things are going to cause you constant adversity, making you feel as if you made the wrong decision. People that you may have loved, that love you, may cause you some consistent hardships. These people may even be your parents, your spouse, or your siblings. Sometimes we have to make hard decisions and cut people out of our lives who don't respect us or embrace who we truly are. This doesn't mean that you stop loving them. This means that you stop allowing them to disrupt your happiness. You can love them from a distance. I always say this to people. I love my mother. I wouldn't think twice about jumping in front of a car to save her life. But I necessarily don't like to spend the day with her. The idea of cutting things out of your life doesn't stop at people. This goes a lot further. It all has to do with things, places, jobs, addictions, and some of your habits. Only you will know what you need to cut out of your life. Why? Because there is only one you, and only you can decide what is best for you. No one is going to be responsible for your happiness except for you. Happiness is within us all. We just need to embrace who we are in order to receive it. In order to embrace who we are, we must first know who we are. And in this voice segment, about putting this stuff on paper, it's about getting self-reflection on your identity. Doing what is best for you, always. And it's not always the easiest path, but it is the most rewarding one. There is only one you. So guide yourself to the best life you could possibly live by staying true to yourself and doing what makes you happy. Putting in the hard work, cutting out the things that have held you back. Being present in the now. Looking towards your future and start taking the steps today in order to make it possible. Here at Mindful Me, we try to bring you the content that you need to help you better your life. And each and every day that you come in and you focus on these things, eventually you are going to start seeing a better you. Once again, my name is Mark, and I'd like to thank you for showing up. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you could get more videos on how we can improve our mental health. And like always, we hope you have an awesome and amazing day.